1989, SNK released Street Smart, one of their earliest attempts at a fighting game, years before Fatal Fury or King of Fighters came along. The game resembled a beat-em-up, but instead of side-scrolling stages, SNK did something similar to what Taito attempted that same year with Violence Fight: closed arena combat. Each fight takes place in front of a crowd that cheers you on and watches as the loser gets dragged away by an SNK branded ambulance. Player 1 controls a martial arts expert, while Player 2 takes the role of a wrestler. There are punch and kick combos, dodges and throws, but most fights turn into a frantic, button-mashing brawl until one player falls. This limited moveset does make the game a bit repetitive, and it often feels like it takes a long time for your opponent to be defeated. But when they eventually start flashing red, you know it's nearly time to call that ambulance. The game takes you on a trip across the US, beating each champion and collecting trophies. I first saw Street Smart during a family holiday in Portugal. We were in a busy restaurant, and tucked in the corner was the arcade machine. The loud crunching sound effects and ambulances dragging away the defeated enemies. It was like an arena version of Double Dragon, and I was mesmerised. SNK likely took inspiration from the Lee brothers doing battle against each other at the end of Double Dragon, as players are forced into a grudge match after each stage in order to earn bonus points. In 1991, the game was ported to the Sega Mega Drive by Traco. Sadly, it was very disappointing. The simultaneous co-op mode was gone, the controls felt slow, and the visuals were bland. Plus, the action only took up part of the screen thanks to those huge borders. They added a basic betting system and upgrades between fights, but the fun of the arcade version just wasn't there. It would be a few years before SNK released Fatal Fury, and of course that game was more in the style of Street Fighter, but it introduced the ability to jump between foreground and background planes and also featured animated crowds cheering in many of the stages. While Street Smart lacked that kind of depth, you could say it helped SNK lay the foundations for Fatal Fury. A better comparison might be Aggressors of Dark Combat, developed later as a collaboration between ADK and SNK. Like Street Smart, it was an arena-based brawler with free movement and a mix of fighting and beat-em-up mechanics. Street Smart never became a classic, but it did stand out as it took one of my favourite genres and tried something a bit different. It may not be SNK's best, but it's an important part of the company's history and a game I look back on fondly. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to the channel for more retro gaming content.